It's Transformers 96 here with another review. This time we have Captain America the Winter Soldier from the Diamond Select toy line Falcon. So here you go. So overall, looking pretty nice here. Diamond Select is a toy line that I've started to move away from, mainly because their character choices, they're not making characters that I really want, and it's quite disappointing because I really do enjoy the toy line, and I used to really like the toy line a whole lot, but nowadays they're not doing villains anymore, it looks like, for the movies at least, and the hero characters just, they don't look anything too special for me, so I have started to move away from this toy line, unfortunately, but I still do buy a few figures that are just must-haves for me. Falcon, of course, is a must-have. He's a new, interesting character with a figure that looked pretty good, and definitely one that I wanted to get, so here you go. So as you can see, quite an impressive figure. He's got quite a wingspan here, as you can see. The wings just look really great, I have to say. I was very interested to see how they would look and work, and it is nice to get in hand to see how that plays out. Going over the sculpt before I go into the wings and everything. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. I mean, the head sculpt, it looks alright. Obviously, it doesn't really capture Anthony Mackie too well, but gives it a nice little a toy look. Especially the goggles help it look a little bit more realistic. They didn't have to sculpt his eyes or anything, so it helps. They're a little hit and miss on their face sculpts. You can't expect anything too great, but don't expect the worst either, because it's not too bad. The actual suit does look really nice. Like design, it's a fairly simple design, but it looks good. Got the army pants with some army boots on there. Pretty nice. The painting is really good. It's got like a very dark gray with a slight bluish tint in the whole costume and the vest and everything, and it's kind of smeared in there with some like white or some black to give it a little bit of a shade color, which is nice. The silver paint applications are painted really well on all the buckles and everything. And they're painted, they're not sloppily painted or sloppy painted. They are actually where they're supposed to be. If there's, just a small little button, it looks like there's a small button. They didn't kind of smear that. So overall, really do like that. You get a very small American flag, which is cool. Looks very nice. And then the gloves here looking good. You can see his fingers coming out through the glove, which is cool. Overall, very nice. The joints are good. Having the circle here isn't great. Don't know if it's 100% necessary to have that. They might have been able to sculpt this without it, but having it in there isn't the worst thing in the world. It still looks pretty nice. Articulation-wise, is pretty good. He's got a ball-jointed head. It can't look up much. It can look down, kind of, a decent amount. But having a flying figure, it would have been great to have a head that could look up, of course. Ball-hinged shoulders can only go up about that far, which is pretty decent. It is actually pretty good, but you just get this kind of like weird sagging joint right here, which isn't the best, but hey, it's not the worst either. And obviously full ball joint. Then you have hinge, and it's a tight hinge. And it's a bit on a ratchet actually, and then it does swivel as well. You do have swivel hinge hands. They can really just hinge forward. There we go. Man, it's stiff. It can really just hinge like that. You can't really get it to go out like it's like this. You can really just do that. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Would like it to go out the other way, but that's all right. Swivel waist, but it is a little hindered by the belt there, so you're not going to get too many great things out of that, but pretty decent. Ball joint thighs. Now this is what's really hindered. It really goes in and out only this far, which is unfortunate. It does go up and back, a fair amount, but nothing too special, unfortunately. He has double hinge knees, which is fantastic. You can get a nice tight bend on that, and the kind of knee pads hide the joint, which is very cool. I have to say, I like that. Then you do have hinge, and it's a very nice hinge with a pivot ankle, so overall that's really nice. So articulation is pretty good. In the thighs it is lacking. I would have liked a swivel thigh, as well as not being so hindered in the thighs up here, as well as would have liked maybe like a ball joint upper torso. I prefer the ball joint upper torso to the waist swivel, so that might just be me though. I know there's some people that like the waist swivel. The wings do not have any articulation, unfortunately. That's something that I would have desperately liked to have, because he looks awesome with the wings. The wings are cool. The wings really stand him apart, and he just looks great. And you can't display him like this on your shelf, at least for me. This just takes up too much space, and my entire collection of Captain America isn't even this far out. So the edges of the wings would be going into my Thor collection and my Avengers collection, which I don't want either. So would have really liked just a simple hinge here to just swivel these down, because, you know, having them at an angle like this would have been great, and I would have really liked that. Unfortunately, you can't, which is a shame. The backpack looks fantastic, as you can see. This with some lights would be awesome. Obviously, I don't expect lights from Select, but just saying that would look really cool. And the wings themselves, like I said, look really nice. You do have this red detailing on the front here, which looks awesome, which you don't have on the back. So yeah. Sorry, if you're hearing little dings throughout this review, whenever I'm moving him, his wings are so long that they are actually hitting my lights. So so if you hear that, don't get annoyed, because it keeps happening, so that's a little annoying. So yeah, so overall, like I said, pretty decent figure, nothing too fantastic, unfortunately. I would have really liked the swivel on the wings, as well as he doesn't come with anything else, so I would have liked his kind of like Uzi weapons. Those would have been really nice and really helpful, especially since he doesn't have like a base. If he had a base, you know, I'd understand them not giving him these guns, but he doesn't come with a base, and he doesn't come with his weapons, so really would have liked to see the weapons at least, and would have liked the base. That would have been great. And Diamond Select is really usually good with the base, so I'm surprised we didn't get one. Here he is with the World War I Captain America, which is, you know, more kind of like how his suit is designed at the end of the movie, so this kind of fits a little bit more with him. And here he is with Red Skull. I didn't get the second movie Captain America, it just didn't look too great to me. So yeah, overall he's in a nice scale with them and it looks pretty good. This is a figure that is... It's alright. It's kind of hard for me to judge. Just personal experience, like how have I enjoyed him? I have to say I haven't enjoyed him too much. He really is a figure that I went and I bought. You know, he was one that I knew that I had to get. So when I saw him in stores, I just bought him because he's just on my list of figures that I need to have. And then I got him home, opened him up, you know, looked at him for a couple minutes, did the joints, you know, did all that, put him on my shelf, and I haven't gotten him out, I haven't taken him off the shelf in like forever. I think maybe in between when I opened him and when I'm doing this review, I took him off the shelf once. He's just not a fun figure. He has a fair amount of joints, just some of the joints don't work as well as you'd like, so it's hard to pose him, and the wings just being straight out is just a real bummer. You really can't pose them anyway and make him look nice. And he doesn't have fists, so you can't like pose him punching. And he doesn't have any weapons, so you can't hold him like shooting weapons or anything like that. He's a hard figure to pose and just a hard figure to have fun with, I have to say. He looks pretty nice though, and if you do like Falcon, and Falcon was a great character in my opinion, and you know, they didn't make too many Falcons, so if you want a nice Falcon, this is a good one to have in your collection. Obviously, if you're getting the Hot Toys one or anything, I certainly wouldn't recommend this, and I am getting the Hot Toys one, but this is going to be the best Falcon you're going to get, basically for the sculpt, because the 3 3/4-inch one isn't that great of a sculpt, but I have to say, the 3 3/4-inch one had articulated wings, which made it just a lot more fun to play with. I have to say, I've messed around with the 3 3/4-inch one a lot, and I mean a lot more than this guy, so just... Basically, which one would I prefer, just based on which one did I have more fun with? It's going to be the 3 3/4-inch version, to be quite honest, although this one looks a lot better and is a lot more accurate looking. So yeah, so there you go, take my advice as you will, you know, fairly decent, but nothing too great, just in my opinion. Who knows, maybe I'm just a little off and it is a really nice figure, but I just didn't have that much fun with it. Still, pretty nice though, so that's my review of the Marvel Diamond Select Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier Falcon. Thanks so much for watching.